What's up, guys? Flat Cart Mafia here. Shane, you look completely different, man. What's up, buddy?
So yeah, well, I'm not in my usual basement today, and I don't have my flags up or anything decoration like that. But we're getting crunch time's here, bud.
I know, man. You ain't
Crunch
got much
time's
time
here.
here
I ain't
left,
got much
man.
time.
I get
So
it, man.
yeah,
It sucks, but hey,
yeah,
man, you're off to a great new venture in life,
yeah,
and you're going to bring a whole new atmosphere to the
yeah.
show,
I
talking
can't wait.
about what's going on down there. And man, as much as I hate to say that I don't, that you're leaving, you know, I hate to say it, but it is what it is. I wish
Hmm.
you and your family the best in endeavor, and I know you'll be back up here. You can't
Oh
stay
yeah,
away from those Ohio boys too long,
no,
So I mean, it's one of those things. I get it.
yeah.
I'm happy for you. I'm happy
Thank
for
you,
your family and the kids, and I'm ecstatic that you got a big promotion and
thank you.
you get to you get to go do your thing, man. And
Yep,
Savannah, Georgia.
Savannah, Georgia,
Yeah,
bud. I highly recommend if anybody that wants to go somewhere it's on a bucket list, add Savannah, Georgia to a bucket list because it's a city that it's so beautiful. It is. If you can even look them up online and you type in most beautiful cities in the United States, Savannah, Georgia's top 5.
hey, you better keep a room ready for me and the missus. We'll have to come down there and spend
Oh
a
yeah.
couple days and let the girls go do their
Oh,
thing at the beach, and we'll go
yep.
racing somewhere. You know what I
Oh
mean?
yes, there's a lot.
You know,
There's a
yeah,
lot around. There's a lot around.
yeah.
I've already
So
been doing and I tell you what, there's a lot of things for the females to do. I mean, you've
hey,
got Tybee Island, it's just right down the road. Hilton Head is not too far away. Even downtown Savannah. If you're a historic buff, I'm a big. That's a little secret about me. I love history. I love
right.
you've got not only stuff from like the Civil War, you've got stuff from the Revolutionary War. Matter of fact, the river that runs through Savannah that goes from the ocean to the big docks because they got one of the largest shipping docks in the United States. But they're talking about dredging the river down to make it deeper so
Oh
bigger
wow.
ships can come through. They were finding cannonballs
Oh wow.
in the
That's cool.
river from the Revolutionary and Civil War. That's freaking
That's awesome.
cool.
That's
That's
cool.
cool. Yeah,
Hey
but
man. So we did some legwork and we got two brothers on the show tonight.
yes,
A
yes,
local track here in Ohio.
yep,
Uh, so I mean, I do believe they're right outside of Chillicothe, Circleville and Chillicothe. In between, we got Mr. Clay. He's the owner of the track.
yep.
I'm getting ready to bring him up. He's already ready, and he's got some big news tonight.
Yes, he
So
does.
something that they've got going on that would be real interesting to the dirt track kart
Hmm.
society. You know what I mean? They're trying to forge ahead and keep
Hmm.
racing. And
Hmm.
so I'm going to bring up Mr. Clay and man, let's delve into this, man.
Awesome.
Hey, Mr. Clay, how you doing tonight?
Welcome to
It's
the show,
it's Clary.
Clary? Okay,
Clary.
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 There you go.
Yeah.
Clary.
Clary. Sorry about that.
And,
I
and 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 something else too. The track is actually located between Chillicothe and Jackson, Ohio.
Jackson.
okay.
So
Okay.
so it's further south than Circleville.
Little farther south.
Yeah.
So
Oh,
are you in between Chillicothe and Atomic Raceway?
if you, we're out 35, you go
Okay, so
out and
you're out 35. Okay.
yeah, you
Okay.
get 35 like you're going towards Jackson out of Chillicothe. We're about halfway in between Jackson and Chillicothe.
Okay,
Um,
great. Gotcha.
we sit about 3 miles or so, 2.5, 3 miles off of 35, back into a little county road.
Oh, okay. Great.
Uh, Something I wanted to say about him moving down to Savannah. He's going to have to watch out because there's going to be a bunch of us guys that want to come down there and race, and we're going
Hey,
to be setting up parking spots in his front yard.
come
Right.
on down. That's what I want. I want to bring so I don't know if you're a big football fan.
Oh
So
yeah, go
last
Buck.
night, yeah, go yeah,
Yes.
Buckeyes. I'm a Georgia Bulldog fan. But anyway, so Tennessee came up to Ohio, thought they were going to take over, Ohio State Stadium, right?
Hmm.
The Volunteers are taking over, Buckeye Stadium. Well, see how well that worked out for them. I want the opposite. You guys come down. I want Ohio to take over any track that we go to down there. So
Yep.
I want that. So let's
I
do
want
it.
to invade. I want to invade the South, man. We're going to
There
go
you
down
go.
there. And I mean, I want to get together as many Ohio boys we can, stock. I don't care if it's kids, stock. I don't care what it is. We
Everything.
go down there and put a butt whipping on some of them guys down there in the South. That's what I want.
Yep, that's what I want.
Justin Clark used to do that all the time. He used to go down there and race from up
Yeah,
here.
I'm with it. So today, you guys had some. You're part of this big deal that's going on down there, and why don't you tell us what the big news is today?
Well, in conjunction with Baird and myself, we have acquired the ability to do an indoor dirt race at Henderson's just west of Jackson, Ohio, off of Route 32. We're going to start out kind of small, and it's just going to be karts. We're not going to do our biggest class will probably be the small block open.
Okay.
But it will be January 11th. So it's going to come up pretty quick. We've been working on some things for a while, been hinting around trying to get this done. And finally we got together and it came together. We're going to do one race this year and see how it goes, get our feet wet. The owners down there, Beth and Ben, they're very nice people. And the arena is very nice. It's a horse show arena, more or less, but
Okay.
we're going to have a great time.
Have
Now,
you
is this
just
at their fairgrounds or?
No, they are a standalone facility,
Okay.
and it's just it's called Henderson's Arena, and they're out there by themselves, and right out in the middle of farm country.
Okay, great. That's great. So how long did it take you to put this together?
Well, it's been working for years. They used to have races down there. It's been several years ago, and some things happened, and they didn't want to have carts no more. And then now Ben and Beth are running it. He's wanting to supplement the income of the place, and Bear. We was talking about some other stuff with the closing of the hog barn and everybody having to travel down to Liberty or wherever to race indoors and go down into Kentucky. There was really nobody in Ohio that was really coming forward.
Okay.
And we talked about this before. So it's been about the last month or so we really got going on it and finally got a meeting down there with him because Ben, he's a roper and he travels a lot. So getting some of the stuff on the schedule has been a little difficult for this year. But next year we'll see how everything goes, and we may do. This may be a moving into something more.
Okay.
For all the racers up in Ohio, especially for the wintertime season.
Is this open to the public?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it is open to the public. We are fan friendly. We like everybody to come as much as they possibly can. Even though it is an indoor race, weather is going to impact it some. We're not going to, if it's going to be super, super cold, snowing, raining, whatever, we probably will have to cancel. But as far as being able to go, there's going to be some indoor pitting and some outdoor pitting, and it's going to be a good deal. I really think it's going to take off.
Great.
Down there. And then of course, then the seasons will get started and we'll have to work with Ben and see if we can schedule things for next year. We'll just have to see how this first race goes and go from there.
Okay. So do you guys know what the admission and what the fee for cart buy-in will be?
Well, right now the cart fee, the entry fee, has always been a sticking point with me when it comes to money races and things like that. We're working on trying to get sponsors and all this, but a lot of times if you go to a cart race and it's a money race and it's 1,000 to win, they want $100 entry fees or $50 entry fees. Our entry fees, $20 straight across the board, every class except for the juice box. We want the juice box there. We love the little kids.
Right.
Bring it.
They are free. They are free to run,
great.
but
Good.
all the other every other class is $20 entry fee. Doesn't matter what sponsor puts up for whatever, this, that, and the other. It could be a 3,000, end up being a 3,000 win race if we get sponsors on some of the classes or whatever. Still gonna be a $20 entry fee. I don't. That's always been kind of a pet peeve of mine, but it's ways tracks get their money back, I guess. That's why I don't usually do money races at Two Brothers.
So you're talking to the 11th. So that's not a whole lot of time.
20 days.
20
Yeah.
days. So what do you have to do prep wise down there? Do you have to do anything prep wise to get it ready for racing?
We are very lucky. The arena's tore up.
Okay.
They do motocross races in there. And so all of that dirt is down on the ground. It is tore up. It's loose right now when we was down there. It's just going to need a little bit of this and that, but it's not going to take us long. We're going to go in on Friday, get everything done, and we'll be ready to rock and roll on Saturday.
Great.
It'll be really fast, I think.
What classes are you guys looking to run out there?
We're basically looking from everything from a red plate up to small block opens.
Okay.
Okay.
So we're like, you'll have your normal AKRA classes, light, medium, heavy, super heavy, sumo. The Predator classes, the Ohio Valley Predator Series, Championship Series. We're going to run those rules for the Predator class. Bear's going to he's working on the stuff to get ready to post to put all the classes out there. But it'll be red plates, green plate, purple plates, that kind of stuff, and the Ohio Valley Predators.
Okay.
So it's going to be about 12, 13 classes total, probably.
Now, where can people go to go find some information on this if they're interested in joining in?
Right at the moment, we haven't seen how it all happened today.
Yeah. I guess. Yeah.
Bear is working on flyers, working on that stuff. He's already put feelers out for the sponsors. I believe we've already got some for that already. It's going to be a work in progress, but it's going to be a fast work in progress. The way I feel about it. Once it gets going, we get the word out and start rolling. I think it'll take off pretty quick.
Oh, I think so too.
So you're hoping that next year, when winter comes next year, you guys can go right into the indoor.
We're hoping we can do 4 dates next year, at least 4 dates.
Okay.
And it'll be carts mostly on those dates. We'll see how it goes. But we're also thinking about, because I have a race at my track that involves the mowers. We will probably do something with Winged Outlaws mowers, that kind of stuff, open carts, all in one big show for them. We'll just have to see how everything goes. Hopefully those guys will come. Several of them will come and watch the race on the 11th, and they can give us feedback as to if they think it's possible. I know it's going to be all right for the open carts. The wing carts, they need a little bit of room. They can't be right on top of each other. So I want some of them guys to come, give me input, and let me know what they think. Mower guys, I want mower guys to come. Most of the mower classes, there's so many of those. A lot of them are slower, but you got some classes that are big single cylinders and big twin cylinders, and they freaking fly. I mean, they rip. If you've seen any of my videos on Two Brothers Raceway, from where I've tried to get some of the videos on there from some of them, they absolutely scream.
Yeah,
So how big is this track going to be indoors?
It's close to the size of my track. I don't know if you guys been to Bear Tracks. It's close to in that size.
What size is your track?
I'm just a little over a tenth of a mile, just a hair over a tenth, somewhere between the 10th and the 8th. It's like it's small, but it's not that small. I have banking at my track where this is just going to be flat.
Okay, so it's going to be a flat track. Okay.
Yeah, definitely be a flat track. We down there, Two Brothers. It's a driver's track and it's pretty fast. So you get on the right combinations. I mean, I tried to do a quick video of the last race we had down there with some wing guys out there, and the one boy was Mr. Atkins, I think it was, got up there on the top of that thing and was just ripping the top just like a sprint car, and I'm like, oh God.
Okay, so you brought up your track, so let's get a little bit of history of your track.
Two Brothers Raceway originally I think was built in 2008, somewhere in that ballpark.
Okay.
The family ran it, and they all kind of some things happened, and they kind of fell out of the love for the sport. Not really fell out of the love for it, but with everything they had going on, it was just too much. So the track closed, and then I asked about taking it over. I think it was right around 2018, somewhere in there. And I've been running it ever since.
Did it go dormant for a while, or did they race up until you took it over?
It was I can't really remember. I think it was they decided they weren't going to open up for the next season, and that's when I think I asked them if I could take it over.
Okay, so you just took it over, and now you're full. You jumped in with 2 feet and both hands, and
yeah, you could say that. Yeah.
So, what was there anything that you had to do to the track? I mean, did you do any upgrades to it, or did you?
Oh, we've done quite a few upgrades, restrooms, different things like that. Not so much as on the track. I haven't really been able to, as far as doing what I want to do. I want to get some dirt hauled in, put on it. I want to get some more clay in there, get on top of it. This past year, I narrowed the groove down, and we ran it a good long time with a narrower groove. This year, I decided to take the grader in there and graded it up and made it a little bit wider, and lo and behold, everybody said, oh my God, yes. They kind of liked it. So we widened the groove up a little bit, and then the Winged Outlaw guys came and they put on a pretty good show. There's only 3 of them, but they put on a real good show. Our track, usually it can be a 2-groove track. It could probably be a 3-groove track if the guys were gutsy enough to do it. But, day races, it kind of gets dry, dusty. So we do the best we can with what we have. And I think for the most part, we've done a really good job. Now, when we run an evening race or a night race, moisture always comes back in the track, and it gets faster as the night goes on.
Yeah, because you were saying that you have a lot of like day races, because we were talking earlier, like in our pre-screening process, you do a lot of would you say Sunday races, didn't you?
Yeah. Yep. Most of our races are on Sundays. We like to, like I said, I try to work with the other tracks. This year, I don't have my schedule done yet. I've kind of waiting because I deal with the sprint car series as well. So I'm trying to work my schedule that I can have maybe a Friday, Saturday race, or a combination of the two, a 2-day show maybe. I may do a Friday race. I may do a Saturday race. I got to see where all the schedules come when everybody tries to get all their stuff in, and then I'm going to pick and choose and go through there and see where I can do what.
Yep.
Okay.
Now,
A lot of the tracks. I mean, I like to have dates kind of in my mind and ahead of time. But with everything that's going on and trying not to step on toes of other tracks and stuff, I'll try to pick and choose dates. We do have an open practice. Our open practice it's also combined with a swap meet for go-kart and mower stuff. So if anybody has anything they want to come and sell or whatever, they can come down there, and they can also do some practice. So that'll be sometime in April.
So you said that you had some dates with the Ohio Sprint. Do you own a sprint car too?
We've got a sprint car, yeah.
Do you really? So
Yeah.
What series do you follow? Right.
Right now, I'm with the Ohio Thunder, IMSA 305 Race Saver Series.
okay.
305s.
We run the 305s. My brother, he drives the car most of the time. Justin Clark gets in it sometimes and goes out and wins a few races for us. And we travel around mostly in Ohio races, but we do race in Indiana, down in West Virginia, Pennsylvania.
That's awesome.
We kind of get scattered out, but
that's cool.
We kind of got to pick and choose some of these races, and then that's another thing that I just got to figure all this stuff out.
Busy, aren't you?
Yeah, it's hard, man. It's got to be
every year.
Yeah. So
the older I get, the harder it gets.
So getting back to your track, so I heard that you guys do a race for ALS.
Yes, we do a 2-day in September. It used to be like the weekend of the 21st. They moved it back 1 week on us, so it's like the weekend of the 28th, somewhere in there of September. It's a Friday and Saturday deal. This year, we've just recently found out. We were told that we were the second largest benefit deal for that in that type of a deal. And then now I found out just recently that it is now going to become a national mower racing association kind of event. So it's a big deal. 2 days. They come in on Friday. A lot of them will come in Wednesday or Thursday. They'll set up camp. We have a good time. Friday all day is a practice day. They come in however they want to do it. They'll come in, they'll practice, and then we have a dinner that night.
Awesome.
And then the next day, now this year, for Saturday, we start all of our races, but we have a breakfast, we have a lunch, we have a dinner, we have fun all day long. We get out there and we race. It's geared more towards the mowers, but we do have some kart classes. It's a fun time. They do auctioning off stuff, like a silent auction type deal. You put a ticket in a cup and you win this thing, buy tickets to put in cups, and there's a lot of great prizes, a lot of great stuff. And we raise quite a bit of money for the deal. Me, my staff, we all donate our time to the event for both days. Everything's donated except for my insurance. I have to take it out. But everything else is donated.
So
who is your staff?
I've got a ragtag bunch of guys and gals that come in, and they're the greatest people on earth. I mean, they put up with me. How else? They got to be great to put up with me. I've got a young fella, Andre Barnhart. He was flagging for us this year. He missed a couple races because of work. And then I got Jeremy Hughes, myself. I do a lot of running. There's just some other people. My brother comes and helps. The girls up there at the girl up there does the gate. She does a great job, Jennifer. I had a lady decided I don't like dealing with concessions. I know it's a money maker for a track, but I just don't like dealing with it. So one of my racers' wife took that over. So she's always got plenty of concession stuff to sell. I've got a lot of people that just come in and help. It's just an unbelievable family atmosphere and family bunch that helps us out.
So, okay. So give me, you said your track is how big again?
It's just a little over 1/10 of a mile.
Over 1/10. So give me what's the rundown that you start from the time that your race ends on Sunday night? What's it like at the track to get it ready for the following time that you guys are going to race?
Through the week, I'll tear it up. I'll disc it up, whatever. When I get back off runs or whatever, I'll go down in the evening and I'll tear it up. Rick Schmidt, he's also my parts salesman guy. He goes down through the week. Him and another one of his buddies would go down and they would mow. They've helped me out tremendously this year. I can't thank Rick and them enough because my time is so freaking limited, and to be able to go mow and keep the place up, I couldn't do it without them, and everybody that helps down there. And but getting the track ready is really, that's my happy place. So I go down there and I spend my time down there whenever I can. It doesn't take a whole lot to get the track ready. I can have it ready pretty quick usually. We'll go in, I'll tear it up. This past year with the ground being so hard and dry, you kind of got to do it when it rains.
Gotcha. Okay.
to get it tore up. But we do pretty good. We've had some whoop-de-doos in it, and I kind of got them biggest part out when we got to grade it. Just finally got to grade it because the ground was soft enough to be able to.
Yeah.
But I get in there and we tear it up, and then we put about 3,000 gallons of water on it and run it in and go racing.
Okay. So your classes there that you have on a normal basis, but you said you're more geared to mower. Is that?
No, we're a kart track.
Okay.
I think it was the ALF.
We do have mowers come occasionally.
Mhm.
Oh, okay.
But we are a kart track. I run all the AKRA classes.
Okay. So you're clone, small block modified.
We have we have our juice boxers.
Mhm.
Then I have what I started years ago, the dirt squirt class, which is a 79cc Predator with those are 4 to 7 year olds. Then I go with my red plates, then the green plate, purple or blue, but everybody's kind of fading away from the purple plate and or blue plate and staying with the purple. So that's probably what I'll just stick with, just the purple, and forget about the blue plate. And then of course, your lights, mediums, heavies, super heavy, sumos, that kind of stuff. Anybody that wants to come and race can come and race anytime. It don't matter. If we're racing, you want to come and race, bring it, we'll race it. If you're there, if you're going to be there every week and we have 3 or more carts of the same, we'll keep points for them. So,
okay, cool.
So you're a points track.
Yeah, well, we do points. Yeah, I did points. I haven't let everybody know what the outcome is yet, but I've been so busy between banquets and this, that, and the other, and trying to do this, trying to do that. It's been a kind of a headache to try to keep up with everything. So I haven't let them all know. They all pretty much know who, but I haven't let them know the official word yet. But
so So on average, what? How many carts do you guys usually have a week?
On at my
Or like
track for on a normal day, probably 30 to
30?
60 carts,
Oh,
Okay.
and
that's
that's counting the juice boxers and everything.
That's awesome. I was teasing, what was it, a couple weeks ago, is I've got my daughter. I started this whole thing because of my daughter. And I always joked, and she's 15. I was like, man, it'd be really cool if we could get a class that's a transition between the purple plate and being a stock and running with like complete adults, so that because you can have that big gap in between the two age groups, you know what I mean, where they're not
Right.
quite ready, but they're past that plated part and
You,
getting
you,
something
you'll,
like that running.
you'll probably find out that these kids pick up this stuff pretty quick.
They do. They
So,
do.
so if they've raced 1, 2 seasons, they'll
Hmm.
go out and kick the adults' butts.
Oh yeah, I know my daughter does pretty decent at it, but it's just funny though because as I said with my daughter and me being a protective dad sometimes I'm like,
Right.
I don't know
You
about
got to quit
this.
that protective stuff. They got to
I know.
they got to bump
Let
up.
let it,
They got to
let
bump
it
their
go.
nose a time or two.
Well, Phil says that all the time. She's good to go, and I'm like, I know,
Yep.
but
Yeah,
it's like a
I've had
rookie class or something like that.
I had some of my kids, and I asked them. I asked the adult guys before I even let them do it if it's all right with them
That's what
if
I was
they
leading
jumps
into.
up, and they say yeah, as long as they don't whip us. And then they turn around and the kids whip them, and then it's like, oh god, now
Because I'm a person. That's where I'm a kids class. With
yeah,
all my carts, all but mine are all kids classes, and I'm mostly interested when hearing about like your track and any track that we talk to. What is their vision for those kids? Because that's our future.
right. Usually the kids, they progress right along really quick. The ones that you worry most about are the ones that say are 13, 14 years old that's never
Mhm,
been on a cart,
mhm,
and then you have to run a rookie class,
mhm.
or you kind of put them with the other kids that's in the younger class. Don't let them go run with the adults, but you put them in there. And at our track, God love them, the kids, the adults, everybody, they help each other. They
Mhm.
work with each other. They don't. They're not. They're competitive, but they're friends.
Yep.
I mean, it's a family type atmosphere down there. They could be arguing, beating, banging on the track, flipping each other off, whatever, and then they'll go back there and help each other work on their stuff.
That's
You know,
awesome. Yep.
you got to have, it's got to be fun and family. We're not making $1 million. If we
Mhm.
was making $1 million, I guarantee you everybody out there is Jeff Gordon, and they'll be the #1 guy, and they'll run over everybody, and
Yeah.
that's not kart racing. That
Exactly.
we try to gear towards more family fun.
That's what we like
Try
to
to
hear.
be,
Now,
try
do
to
you
be.
have money races there at your track, or is it just strictly have fun, points, family oriented?
Our payout, we have an entry fee, and then I pay 100% back out.
Oh,
We
really?
don't keep none of the entry fee, so
Oh
you'll
wow.
go to you'll go to some tracks, they'll pay 80% or whatever.
Right.
Ours like our entry fee $20, that gets divided one spot for every three or every two or whatever.
Gotcha.
Uh, so it pays back down one spot for every two. So you got six, you pay three places or whatever.
So
Gotcha.
what is
So
what's usually like your entry fee and gate fees and stuff like that?
my gate fee is $15. 7 and under is free. Um,
Oh wow.
I used to charge $10. Insurance costs going up, and out of that gate fee, that's what I pay my people,
Mm-hmm.
and that's what I pay for my fuel and all that. That's where the concession stand money could help you at your track, but I get all I cover it all out of that, and if I don't, I get it out of my pocket. So um, the gate fee is where I get all of my income from everything to cover my people and all that. Um, we're not real rich down there, but I do pay the helpers.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. That's
Mhm.
awesome. Now, do
Mhm.
you have sponsors or anything that helps you out during the season with?
I have a couple guys that will help sponsor on some of the races, like on my Kart Fest when I had it at the end of the year. Had some little bit of sponsors. Most part, no. I do most of the sponsoring if there's going to be anything needs sponsored, like oh my mother. My mother, God bless her, she jumped in this year and she she wasn't really race friendly, so to speak. She started coming down to the track, and I don't think I could get her to not come anymore. She
Nice.
sponsors the juice boxers, gives them awards. They get every one of them gets an award of some sort. You know, we'll do little trophies or something, this, that, and the other. So my mom kind of jumped in. She sponsors that. She, you know, we love the little kids to death.
Mhm.
Right.
You guys really need to come down and watch us on some of our races. I get out there and
Oh,
I'll run around, I'll chase them around, I'll hoot and holler, I'll be up there
yeah.
in front of the flag stand doing the wave, getting everybody to do a wave,
Nice.
and it just we just like to have fun.
That's where my passion is. As I said, from those, I've got 6 kids, and I've got what
3 more and you got a
wait,
baseball team.
well,
Yeah, there you
yeah,
go.
well, 5 of them, 5. I got 5 daughters. That's what's
Uh,
crazy about it.
Softball.
So, yeah, so I've got a 3, a 6, and a 7-year-old girls that that played around in that juice box, and it's funny just watching them. Just they're more doing this as they're going down, going around the track, and then I've got an 11-year-old
They
boy and a 14-year-old girl, and as I said, that's when we go to the track, that's what we do. We're a family, and we just love stuff like that.
they get out there and they'll be driving around, they'll be waving at everybody in the
Uh-huh.
grandstand. You know, it's
Yeah.
just and I've got some red platers and even green platers that'll do that from time to time. But I've got a couple of the little kids that they're just a riot. They're all just a riot, but
I,
they're
I,
adorable.
I love
They're just fun. When the mowers do come for the ALS event,
it. Hmm.
they'll come in and there's a couple little girls that run mini mows, what they call mini mows,
Oh
and
wow.
they are a riot. They are the cutest little girls you'd ever see. They're like 8, 9 years old now.
Uh-huh.
Um, and they just have everybody just has ball. That's the thing. You go and have fun.
That's what it
You
is.
get
So what made you choose the ALS? What got you into the
all right.
ALS?
I don't know if you guys knew the track Caesars Creek Raceway used to be
I've
down
heard of
there by
that. Yep.
Williamsport or Wilmington. The boy that was running it, he got they started out down there. I believe that's where they started there and at Limestone. They
Mhm.
raced there. I know some, but I don't know if they did the ALS race at Caesars Creek, but it was held at Limestone. Um, Andy Bowman is his name from Caesars Creek. He got a hold of me, asked me if I'd be interested in it a few years ago. And I said, sure. What, you know, have him get a hold of me and we'll talk and we'll see how things go. And Dave Sherrod, who's the head honcho of the Ohio Mower Racing Association, he got a hold of me. We got talking. We got things worked out. They came down that first time and they fell in love with the place. I know they did it some up at Limestone Valley, so they moved it to my track, and it's been a lot of fun. I've met a lot of great people. Um, uh, the way I understand, I've not. There's a lot of these tracks I've never been able to get to because I want to get to visit them, but with everything I've got going on, I've just not had the time. And they all kind of say Limestone, you could almost sit inside of my track.
Oh really?
I'm not sure if that's true or not. They say it's kind of small. It's the smallest track. I don't think it's that small, but
Mm.
it is smaller than my track. Um, the space I think was getting kind of where they was running out of some space there. And when we have it, we are wall to wall packed. I mean, the pits, I've had to open up other areas for parking and this, that, and the other. It draws in a lot of people,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a real good deal.
Yeah.
We're so blessed to be able to have that.
How many mowers are there during that weekend?
Well, between the two classes, we had like 200 and some entries between mowers and carts.
Really?
Our further there was a feller from Sacramento, California, got the long tail award this year, but we had them from Missouri, from Carolinas, Michigan, Florida, just all over. I mean, they just come in and they race. They don't race for money. They race for the pride of it.
Right. That's crazy. That's a long haul. Missouri.
And that's all he does. He's traveling around. He's got a racing pig deal, and he sets up at fairs or whatnot. But he travels all over the country and he races his mower. And then he has these little pigs that runs around and races and stuff. And he's awesome. It's like a carnival atmosphere.
Nice.
With mowers. I mean, and we have cart classes too. So, yeah, we had there was a lot of entries and stuff.
Now, how many races throughout the year do you think you guys put on down there?
I try to schedule about 6 to 8 because I can't race every weekend. Everybody wants me to race every weekend, but they don't know how hard it is on me actually to everything I'm trying to keep up with. So it gets pretty tiresome. I got to have some free time.
Sure.
But I really, even my free time ain't free time.
I know that.
Well, I mean, it's got to be time consuming taking up two brothers. You're trying to start an indoor class or indoor race for the winter, and you're a truck driver.
Your sprint.
Your sprint car. I mean, I'm just trying to sit back and listen to you. And I'm trying to figure out. I'm in my head. I'm like, man, where's this guy have this time?
Wednesdays and Sundays.
Wednesdays.
And I can't do it every Sunday because I have a sister that's in a nursing home, and we take her out on Sundays as much as we can. Take her out to shop and eat. So it's not always done. You know, yesterday we went shopping, and my knee feels it today.
So I got a quick question for you. We're stepping outside of the racing thing. I usually ask a lot of our guests this. So what is something that you enjoy doing that is something that's just outside of like the racing stuff? Like, hey, I'm not going to do racing, but it's something I love to do.
Sit on my butt in front of a campfire at a campground.
That sounds like heaven to me. Sounds like heaven to me.
And I haven't done it in years.
You haven't done it in years.
Nope.
That's awesome.
Haven't been able to do it.
So what is it that you actually do for like a living? So people kind of know.
Truck driver.
Truck driver.
Yeah.
What do you haul?
Right now we haul glass out of PGW here in Chillicothe, or we haul furniture for Big Sandy Furniture out of Franklin Furnace, Ohio.
Now, how far do you travel out?
We go to Cape Girardeau, Missouri. We've got some other runs that are coming up that we're supposed to be starting for Standard Register. I think that's what it is. Hauling toilets and sinks and stuff that's supposed to be starting here before long. That goes up around Albany, New York, and I go to Mount Pleasant, Michigan quite often. We do Michigan, Indiana. We've got some guys that run Florida. I don't particularly like going to Florida.
I'm not a big Florida fan either.
Other than if I was going down there to watch Volusia or something like that, you know, East Bay or whatever. But we go to Carolinas quite a bit. My brother, he spends a good bit of time down around Savannah.
I love it.
He goes down there and delivers stuff. We deliver a lot of glass windshields and stuff down there.
Okay.
Out of,
Oh wow.
that's what basically our PGW. That's what it is auto glass. We deliver up to Detroit to places up there. It does sets for Mercedes and a few other the car dealerships and or car manufacturers. Chrysler and some of them. We take windshields up there and they set them and put them on the assembly line, that kind of stuff. PGW has a bunch of places out and around where you can go in, get your windshield replaced. You see those ads on TV for all the glass companies. Well, most of them get their glass from PGW.
Okay.
Okay.
That's cool.
So do you have anything that's like big news for your upcoming season this year, or you guys still working on things?
I'm still working on things. ALS is our big thing. Like I said, I'm going to try to do a Saturday or a Friday or a Saturday, or maybe of a combination of Friday and Saturday 2-day show. I got to sit down and really think about the schedule. But I gotta see where all the other things lie in order so I can do it. So once I get stuff figured out there, then I'll be able to get my schedule out and posted and see what we can do. Normally I don't do money races. Other than the entry fee payout deal, I don't normally do money races. I think it brings a lot of bad out of a lot of racing.
Right.
I'm geared more towards family fun. We're not out here to make $1 million. We're not going to. So, you know how to become a millionaire as a racer, don't you? You start out. Yeah, you start out. To become a millionaire, you start out with 2 million.
Yeah, that's also
well.
if you know the secret, I mean, please tell me.
The other saying is too, just don't ever start. There's 3 things that happen. You buy a race car, right? You lose your wife, and then you lose all your money, because it takes all 3 of those to win and be successful and stuff. The race car consumes a lot of you.
Yes,
so
So probably one of the biggest things that we got going on this year is cause the Predator class. I switched everything this year on my 2025 rules for my Predators. I'm going with the Ohio Valley Championship Predator deal that we started last year. We had like 6 races set up with 6 different tracks. I'm doing my Predator rules to that. Basically, I'm doing that because then all my guys, if I'm not racing, they can go to any of them other tracks that are running that same class. And they can go there and not have to worry about having a problem with tech or anything like that. They're already set up, ready to go. I've been working last several years trying to get tracks, all the different tracks that I can get, to be on the same page with the rules and everything. And I think that's one stepping stone towards that progress. Most tracks, they got different age groups for this, or, I pull out my AKRA rule book and I say, here's my weights, here's my ages, here's my rules. I've got a book right here and I can show it to you. And I've always tried to get all the tracks on the same page, but it doesn't always work that way. So, I think this is a stepping stone in that direction.
The thing is like we talked earlier, is the people that own these tracks, man, they want to do it their way, and they have their dedicated people that go to them, and
they're in the ear of the owner and all this, and well, your rules should be this,
right. And I mean the governing body of a track of a governing body for everyone. I mean, if there was such a great thing, I mean, I'm with you. It should be that way. That way everybody can go race at any track, but it's not that way. But
Yeah,
I don't.
if all the tracks were on all the same page with the same rules, guys could go from track to track and not have to put on weight, take off weight, change this, change that, do this, do that. You just go to the track, show up, you jump on the track, you race. You
Yeah,
know, if everybody was on the same page, but
and that
you can't
works
get
for,
it.
yeah, if that works for, as I said, like with traveling people that go to Limestone, to all those and stuff like that. And you got some guys that just, I'm just staying here.
Yeah,
I don't want to go nowhere else. I just
Yeah.
want to hang out here.
you have those.
I actually try to tell all my racers, go to the other tracks, go run, go. You bought all this stuff. You've got all this equipment. You need to go run it. Go have fun. I've done it. I like to do it more myself. I like to get my cart out of the trailer and go race, but I haven't been able to do that. I tried that last year. The side cover fell off of it. I'm like, oh, great. So
Yeah,
I can't.
it is fun. It is fun going out.
I haven't been able to do that, and I used to go down to Liberty and race down there, and it got to be, they tore me up the last time I went, so I didn't want to go back. So that's where the indoor thing kind of came from, is everybody liked to find someplace a little bit closer. So that's where that worked into.
Well, I definitely hope that takes off for you guys, and you giving guys the opportunity to race during the winter, because our winters here are long. God forbid we get a bunch of snow here in here. We've been lucky, but I mean we're probably due for something.
Hold it off until after the first. Hold it off until after the first.
So I
stress it.
I get it, and I get where you're coming from. I mean, I hope that takes off, and I hope on the 11th you guys are able to get it in, and it's a success, and you guys can build on that.
Yeah, as long as the weather, it's still going to play particular to the weather, because if it's going to rain or snow, we don't want people out on the highway.
Yeah,
if it's going to be below 20 degrees, I mean, you get down there and the winds are howling, and it's 20 degrees outside or 15 degrees outside. You don't want to have to be pitting outside and have to try to get in to race and all that. We've got a few things that where we're going to cut it off at. We're not going to let people come down there and be miserable. We'll try to make it so it's everybody has a good time, and we'll see where it goes.
Great. I mean, hopefully, this gets to reach out to people and they want to go. I mean, I encourage them to go and have fun and run it, man, and I also encourage guys to go down to your track and try it out. And I definitely would like to go down during the ALS to see what it's like. And
come on down. It's a lot of fun.
Even if I don't even race, I just come down and see you face to face and see how you guys do things there and stuff, man, and get to know you a lot more and just see at the track. I mean, I just like racing in general.
Yeah, like I said, we're pretty much as much family oriented as we could possibly be. We just try to have fun. We don't want to see anybody get hurt, so there's been some improvements we've done down there with the walls and stuff like that to try to make that not happen. So we've put up some belting and stuff on tires that kind of could be a prone area for disaster, and we kind of fixed them a little bit. General normal track fixtures.
Yeah. I mean, there's always something that could be done at a racetrack. I mean, as from an owner's perspective or a promoter or whatever it is, there's always something that can be done. It's just if you have the funds,
it's a constant.
Yeah, it's constant. So I mean,
I've got new lights. They're like traffic controller lights to put. I got to wire them things up. That way, I'll have a green, yellow, and red lights on each end, and I got to get down and get that done. When you're a track owner, you're a farmer, so to speak, because you work the dirt to get the track. You're an electrician. You're a plumber. You're just about a jack of all trades and master of none of them, but hobby everything together.
Well, but that's what makes your place so unique. You know what I mean? Every track. That's what makes every track so unique. You know, your track is different than Limestone or
Little Muskie.
Little Muskie. I mean, Hillbilly Hillside. I mean, all these tracks that are around Ohio now, more popping up. We got 2 that's opening up this year.
Yeah.
And
and they are all
for sure.
I do believe those guys are all jumping on the bandwagon with the Ohio Valley Championship Predators. I do believe that.
I kind of heard that. I kind of heard that in the valley there that they were going to all be a part of it. And that's
and trying to get Jug Run in on it too.
It's never going to happen.
That's what I hear.
Yeah,
it will never happen. I mean, it's not going to happen. But that's what makes that place unique. You know what I mean? And I mean they obviously are doing something correct. I mean, I race there every weekend, and I mean that place is full.
Yeah, I'm hoping that with this indoor deal and being on you guys' podcast, it'll open some people up to coming down to Two Brothers and checking us out this summer.
Yeah,
that's what we wanted. That's why when I reach out to track owners and stuff, because I kind of talked to you a little bit about this when we talked earlier, like like, hey, this is our mission stuff. Is I been pushing track owners on this podcast so they can get their name out to everybody out there. So there may be, you never know, there could be one day a listener that's not too far from your track, or somebody's been listening like, I didn't realize there's a track over here by me. Now they know. Now they know. Now they know there's a place to race. That's all I want is a place to race. Don't care.
The other good thing is you run on Sundays.
You run on Sundays.
Most of the time,
Yeah, I mean, you run on Sundays, and it's not like you said yourself, you don't run every weekend, so you run maybe 6, maybe 8, maybe 10 times a year. Yeah, that's 10 Sundays that, these guys can sit there and be like, you know what, man, I'm going to go to Two Brothers, like 3 of these races just to go and meet new other people and be a part of that.
Come on down, have fun.
That's what we want. That's what we want.
And then you have the big ALS race and stuff, and I mean you cannot go wrong there, man. You're doing something obviously right there, and
we're working on it. We're getting better. I can't thank my staff enough. They got to put up with me. I can be kind of a handful at times.
We all
are.
And I have to apologize to them guys a lot, and because sometimes if I put too much stuff on my shoulders, and then if it's not quite right, then I get aggravated, and I may speak out a little bit that I shouldn't, and it's more me being mad at myself than anything else. So I have to apologize to my crew sometimes.
I'm with you 100%, man. I do it to Shane all the time. I'm like, hey, man, I'm like, we are not doing this. And, and I'm sitting there thinking after going, like, damn, I was a complete asshole. And hey, man, sorry. You know what I mean? It's me. You know what I mean? I'm the host. I want it to go this way because I have passion for it. Not that I'm being an asshole. I just have passion for the sport, and this is what I want, and this is my vision. You know what I mean?
I had a buddy of mine that got me into this kart racing stuff, and he got me into it, and he says, I tell you, he says, when you start passing me and I can't catch you and I can't pass you and I outrun and you outrun me all the time, I'm just going to retire. And I feel pretty bad that I haven't been able to race my buddy for several years now. I need to get him back on the track. I keep trying to get Jeff Du Bois out on a racetrack and come back and race, get out of retirement. He just said, if you're faster than me, I'm retiring. I'm done. And so he got me into it. Sorry, Jeff, but buddy, I want you to come back.
There you go. I mean, I'm kind of the same way. My son really started this go-karting and stuff, and I mean, at first I was like, man, if we're gonna race, let's go big car, you know what I mean? And then we went to where we're at now, and one of the guys that become like one of my best friends up there, he pushed me in that direction. He's like, you're getting in it and you're going to run it, and this is it. And he set me up, and it's been that way ever since, man. I mean, the passion has just grown for me in this sport that it's all I care about and all I think about anymore, you know?
Well, that's like goes like how long was I kind of a pit crew manager for my daughter before you convinced me to go get my own?
Right. I mean, yeah. I mean, it was a half a season.
Yeah. And I'm like,
if not more. Yeah. And so I feel you on that aspect of like, hey, man, you know, I just like the competitive of it and the friends and the family orientation and being a part of it and watching it grow to where it looks like it's heading. I mean, you know, hell, man, there's 2 tracks opening up this year, 2 new ones out of the blue. So it's great.
Yeah,
3,
well,
you know,
I think we're blessed in the fact that there's not tracks closing this year.
Yes.
We've had several of them close. Caesars Creek was one of them. Another track over in you guys' area, 7077. Love that track. Talking to Brian, hopefully we'll open it back up. That was a great track. Bear Tracks is probably running more limited schedule than he ever did before. There's several of them that closed that in Caesar Creek's aspect, it's completely gone. The track is totally gone. Then there was Canoa Valley down in West Virginia. We used to go run that all the time. Phenomenal track. It's no longer there. They covered it over. I mean, it just we can't lose these tracks, and it's better to add tracks than to lose them.
That's our goal. That's our goal to get with like you. So you're a track owner. That's why we want you to like get it out there.
Yeah, my goal is like if he runs on Sunday, man, pack the track, pack the pits.
Bring one down. I can handle whatever shows up.
Because you know this is the thing, man. If let's say Honda Hills or Thunderbolt Raceway are run on Fridays, and you pack them, you go to Jug or whatever track on Saturday, and it's packed, and you go down to Two Brothers and it's packed. That is a great weekend. You know,
yeah, and you have a lot of competitive racing. You have a lot of fun.
Yeah, yeah. You can just go and you can have fun, and you're packing it. And also the other thing that happens, that track is able to open again. They made money where they could pay their insurance. Yeah, they paid their insurance, which is astronomical nowadays. You know what I mean? They can pay their staff, they can pack it, and they can do it, and they have enough money to do it again the next time they choose to open up. Absolutely. And that's what it's all about. You know what I mean? And it's our job as racers to go out there and put on a show.
Yep.
It's not the track owner, it's the racers. You know what I mean? Make sure it's clean, make sure it's competitive, and not be an a-hole. You know what I mean? And I mean that's what you want. That's what keeps these guys alive, you know.
My bleachers, I have a lot of people that some of them are grandparents or whatever, but I have a lot of other outside people that come and fill our bleachers up and watches the races, which is pretty great.
I have a fan base that follows us.
Shane's got 20 people that come every Saturday night.
That's why karting is a family event, more or less.
Yeah, you know what blew me away the first time I was ever seen this was it's at Jug Run. The freaking Amish pulled up in their buggy.
yeah.
And they watched like 3 hours of racing, and you're like, the freaking Amish are coming.
Yeah, Jug Run's up in that neck of the woods. So was Bear Tracks. And we went to Bear Tracks, and that's all you seen. You either seen a buggy going up and down the road, or you seen one of the trucks for the well drillers that was up in there at that time. And down there where we're going to do this indoor race at down there, there's Amish buggies around that place. And I I happened to see one while we was down there, and I just had to start giggling. I mean, it's fun.
You have to. I mean, you know what I mean? It's just that. You know what I mean? So if you're getting freaking Amish at your
Bring
track,
your Amish buggies to Two Brothers. We'll put them on the track.
put them on the track, man.
Yep.
Put 'em on the track. That's
Are we
what I
starting? Are we starting a new series?
Shoot, yeah. There you go.
Yeah, I'm all for it, man. 1 horsepower,
We'll
2
put-
horsepower, whatever.
We'll
it is.
put the buggies out there and let them run.
I mean, you know what I mean, and you know, I'm going to let you go because I know you got to drive to Michigan. I appreciate you being on the show, man, giving us some
No
insight
problem.
on the news today, what you guys got going on down there. I mean, I've got it circled here on my phone. I'm not going to race in it. I'm not ready, but I'll definitely come down and I'll definitely watch it on the 11th to see what it's about. Hopefully the weather gets nice and we can hold it off. And I definitely, when my son and I sit down and talk about our racing season this year, I definitely want to come down to yours. I know he will go down there and race and be a part of it and help you grow your track down there at Two Brothers. And again,
Appreciate
thank you for being on the show,
Yeah, thank
man.
you.
I appreciate it.
Appreciate it. Hey,
And
just
when you get
everybody.
your schedule done, and you're ready, man, shoot us a message.
Yep.
And
Will
we'll
do.
get you back on here and we'll get your stuff out. And I mean, even if the show come up on the 11th, you know, I'm on Facebook. I do the Flat Cart Mafia on Facebook. Just get a hold of me both way or Shane, and man, we'll get you out there and we'll try to pack that place and try to get as many carts we can to come to you. And let's continue to work together and let's let it grow.
Yep.
I like it.
Yep. Well, all I want to say to everybody is get out to your local track. It don't matter if it's Two Brothers Raceway, Jug Run, Bear Tracks, Farmers, Wheelersburg, Little Muskie. Just get out to a freaking track. Go out, see what it's about, and join in, have fun.
Mhm. That's all we want.
Even if you're not racing, man, go watch a race.
Go
Take a
on, race.
person with you. You know what I
Yep,
mean?
'cause
Maybe they'll get
Eventually, you'll get hooked and you'll want a cart and you'll want to be part of that out on the track. So,
yeah. There's
Exactly.
no other best feeling in the world than that, man. I tell you that right now.
Hey,
I don't care what track you go to. I mean, I've been to several. It's nothing. I mean, it's a great feeling to go out on a track and just be a part of it. Even if you're last, you got lapped 5 times, or you won the damn thing. It doesn't make a difference. Go out there and have fun, make friends. And I wish you guys at Two Brothers, man, the best of your new season coming up. And let us know, and we'll help you get the word out, and we'll help you put some tires on the track.
Yep,
all right.
that's our goal with
Yep.
having you on here is once again is promoting every single track owner that's out there. I don't care what you're running. I mean, I was telling Phil, our goal is to even down to RC cars racing. That
Right.
if it's a local track, we want to get the word out about just the local racing scene, and
Right.
that's why I asked you to be on.
Yeah. And just make sure everybody, if you go to Savannah, Georgia, right there's the guy to go visit.
Yep.
Come on now.
And you know, another thing is too, man, you know, now that we have this partnership, maybe we can get a bunch of your racers together and a bunch of ours, and we'll all make a trip down there to Savannah, and we'll invade it.
Yep.
And,
So
Boy, wouldn't that be a scary thought?
oh boy, wouldn't it, man? The thing is I'm not even going to say nothing to Shane. I'm not even going to tell him that we're coming. We're just going to show up at his doorstep one day, and there's going to be like 20 trucks out there with trailers. Like,
Yeah, park in the front yard.
Yeah, right in the front yard. Where are we going? You
Yep.
just shoot away.
Yeah,
I think I done gave him a few pointers for down there.
Yeah, he did. He
Yeah.
did give me a few. Yes, he did. Yes, he did. Because there's a as I said, there's a couple tracks that the city that we're moving to is just outside of Savannah. It's a little town called Statesboro, and there is a few kart tracks there. And I've already reached out to them and stuff, and they're like, yeah, we started our season back up in February. And I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
oh,
Yeah,
oh,
they're
February.
ready to rock and roll. They got the weather to do it. So
Mhm.
unfortunately for us, we got to put up with old man winter.
Yeah,
Yeah, right. Yeah.
that's one thing where I was like, man, I'm getting to the point where I work construction and stuff like that, and I work outside all the time, and I'm done. I'm just done with this cold weather.
Right.
Yeah, I'm getting there too, man.
So,
But
but
hey, man,
thanks for having you on.
yes, thank you so
Yep.
much, and you be safe on your travels tonight, and
Appreciate it.
going up there to the team up north.
Yeah. That's a
You know,
lot of fun. Trust me.
I'm sure. I'm sure. And uh, again, if you ever want to be back on here to promote your guys' stuff, man,
Just
just
get a
let us
hold of us.
know. We'll get you back on here.
Absolutely.
Will do.
I thank
Thank
you
you.
again. You have a safe night, and thank you so much.
Yep. God bless everybody.
God bless
Get
you
out
too,
to a
bud.
track.
Get out
See
to
you.
the track. See
Goodbye.
you guys. Thank you.
Well, Shane, man, it was interesting. I'm glad that they are able to put together what seems to might be a winter series.
Absolutely. Sounds great.
So, I mean, that
I love
gives everybody a place to go in
Mhm.
the winter and get their racing on.
Mhm.
You
Mhm.
know, um,
And then I'll get
be
with
interesting to see for sure.
yeah, and I'll get with our which John, if you're listening on here too, I'm sure he'll be on top of it. But the information of where this track's located and what the series is and stuff like that, we'll get it on our page.
Yeah,
So all you guys that are listening, who'll listen in the future, if you're not listening live, but later on down the road, how to get there if you're
yeah,
interested in going.
most
So
definitely, man.
we'll make sure that we get that all that information out to everybody if they're wanting to, even if it's just spectating on a
Yeah,
go. But
I mean, I will probably go down and watch it. I'm curious
mhm.
how it's
I
going
wish
to
I
work.
could. I wish
I'm
I
curious.
could.
Yeah, I mean, that's part of the show.
Mhm,
It's going down there. I'm excited. I'm excited that they've got
mm,
it going on. I was excited that they were able to get that worked
mhm,
out, and it sounds like they have a format, and they're
mhm.
sound like they're ready. I
That's
mean,
kind of
20 days, man. You better be ready. I mean, that's a short time.
it was funny, because we were joking about that one night. We were just talking on the phone and stuff like that. I was like, man, wouldn't that be cool to do like a Gateway Nationals, but for go karts?
Well, I
And,
mean, it's
and
not out of the realm, though,
it's
man. You
not
know what I
out of the
mean?
realm. It's
The
not
thing
out of the realm.
is like like I thought about that a lot. Like I said it on our last one. Putting it together is the biggest thing. I
Mhm,
mean, and man, something on that aspect. It
mhm.
is not. You're not putting it together in 2 weeks.
Oh,
You know
oh
what I
Lord,
mean?
no, yeah,
It
that's
it, it take a
months and
good
months.
bit, and I mean, not saying that it's not out of the realm.
No.
You never know, but I'm just saying, like it would be very difficult
Mhm,
to put that
mhm,
together in a short time. I'd
mhm.
love to. I mean,
Yeah.
that's what I want to do. I mean, that's where I want to go. You know what I mean? Um, Getting back to what he said, though, man, like he wants all these tracks to go to one set rules. I mean, I get where he's coming from, but you know what, man? To me, that's what makes every track unique.
Mhm. I mean,
You know what I mean?
it's a
I'm,
balance. I mean, I agree because to be honest with you, if I'm a personal tractor owner, I just say Shane Maurer built Shane Maurer Raceway in the backyard of Dresden, Ohio, where I'm living at right now, and I could see both sides of it of having a set series where these are set rules. My guys can
well,
go anywhere and race, but also it's kind of my track. It's my track. If I
this is the thing, man. I don't think that any one person, you, me, whoever,
mm-hmm,
should not dictate what a track does and what a track
mm-hmm,
runs and what the rules should be.
mm-hmm,
I just don't think
mm-hmm.
that is right. I think
But
if you're gonna have rules and you're gonna I think what I guess let me put it this way. If you were able to get all these tracks in Ohio together, right?
mm-hmm,
And let's say they all sit down at the Marriott in the conference center or whatever,
mm-hmm,
you know what I mean? And they all come up with the rules, then yes.
mm-hmm,
But for one guy or one person or whatever to say, hey, this is the rules, I want you to follow it. I disagree with that.
mm-hmm,
I don't think that's the way it should be because, you know, I mean, what happens if I'm at, you know, like you said, Holdren or Raceway or Speedway and Shane Mahler Speedway, we look at each other like, I don't like that rule. You still going to run it? No, hell no. It's my track. I'm going to do what I want to do. And
it has its positive and negatives.
it does.
You know, with a lot of things. I mean, and that's, you know, I was bringing up with him. Like, if you're a person who's visiting several other tracks and stuff like that, then yeah, it's beneficial. But if you are just at a single track and you're not traveling anywhere, then it's a delicate balance. I mean, it's a preference. It's a preference.
I get what you're saying. I mean, I like the aspect that, hey, man, I can go to this track and I can go to this track and I can go to this track and I can run and I don't have to worry about rule sets, different sets. I get that part of it. I kind of agree with that part, but for one person or whatever, however that comes down the pike to say that's your rules, I think.
But we're really only kind of talking about the Predator stock class. Am I right?
Well, I mean, he's a series, right? So, I mean, he's going to. I mean, he has the right to run whatever rules he wants to run. It's his series. It's just like if I put together a super stock and a stock appearing series, and I follow these rules. These are the rules. You know, I get that part. But I just like. I guess I'm at the point where I'm just like. I mean, how does one person set the rules and they want every track to abide by them? I just kind of like don't agree with that, I guess. I mean, that's the part of being, I mean, I can go to Jug, I can run at Jug, but I also can go with the rule sets that Little Muskie has. I can go to Little Muskie and run. I can go to
Thunderbolt,
Limestone and run. You know what I mean? I can still go to all these tracks.
Yeah.
I mean, I just don't think that, you know, I think if you're going to own a track, you figure out what rules you want to run and not have nobody have any sway in it and say, hey, here's these rules. I think you can run these because I don't agree with it. I've never agreed with that. You know what I mean? Like,
I know.
I can see if it's a governing body and they're like, okay, man, 100 out of 100 of these tracks are going to follow these rules. And okay.
Kind of like we talked about that a million times, you know, you know, when it comes to like sets of rules for keeping it, everybody following under this, like, you got to do this. Is it voted on by all the track owners? Is it a board members that collaborate? Is it how was this? How are these series created? Who's dictating on what rules are being made? Is it a governing body or is it individual, or how is that aspect working?
Well, I guess if you're going to put a series together, it's whatever rules you want your carts to follow by. And if they are out of that, they're disqualified. So, I mean, I get it, but I mean, I guess what I'm saying is if I owned a track and somebody come to me and says, I want you to run these rules all year because I want, that's just the way I want it. You can kiss my ass. It's not gonna happen.
It's not gonna, yeah, I do agree with that.
You know what I mean? This is not going to happen. I mean, this is not going to happen, guys. I don't know what to tell you. Not saying that they're bad rules. I don't, you know what I mean? Or anything like that. I think if you're going to run a series and say that I was able to take this series to Mahler Speedway and I get in contact and be like, look, man, we already have our own rules in place. This is what these guys know the rules coming in here. You have your own show. You run by your rules. But anybody wanting to run in this series for points or whatever, these are the rules. Then I can see, okay, man, I'm going to follow your rules for that night because you're coming here, but these are not my rules. You know
but it'd be that series
just for that series.
It'd be that serious.
Yeah.
Then I'm running my own thing.
I'm running my own damn rules,
Yeah,
man.
yeah, yeah,
You know
yeah.
what I
You're
mean?
running
Like,
your own, running your
yeah,
own stuff. But if they want to come as guests to run their particular series of ABC series is running this. Hey Shane, I want to run at your track with this series. Okay, great.
yeah,
But I'm not expecting my guys who are my regulars and stuff like that to abide by those rules. They may not want to get into it. But as I said, it's a preference thing. It really is. It's up to what
it's
you
up.
want to
Yeah,
do.
it's up to what
It's
you
up
want
to
to
what you
do.
want to do. If you want to get into a series type of race, and then go ahead. Great. A series
Right.
sounds amazing and fun. I would love to do it. But also as a track owner, it's a preference of what you want your track development to be.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And I guess that's kind of what sets every track
Apart. It's
differently
unique.
and apart, and they're all
Unique.
unique in their own way,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm all about that because like, I mean, I like the aspect that, you know, I can go run at River Valley
Mm-hmm.
and then I can go run at Jug Run.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
They're two different rule styles,
Mm-hmm.
but you know the classes are pretty much will set up
Mhm.
the same thing. You know what I mean? So it's fun that way.
But
I mean,
we're talking about rules that are really huge in changing anything. You know, am I
right?
right though? You're
Yeah,
really not making any drastic changes to go be able to run. I because as I said, I've got 5 of them carts out in my garage right now that usually run at a place where the rules are maybe a little bit more laxed. Out at Jug. Let's be real. I run a stock. The rules for the stock class at Jug are a little bit more laxed. Uh, I kind of like it to the
yeah,
point
but they're not
because
running. Yeah, but they're not. They don't run for points.
no, they don't run for
They
points.
don't run. They don't run a series.
They
They
don't run
go.
a
That's
series.
their motto: is go. Let's go have fun. Just
Let's
bring
go
it.
have fun.
Bring it and let's go run. They
Yeah.
have rules set in place because if you didn't have some kind of rule,
Yeah.
every Tom, Dick, and Harry would somehow cheat.
You'd be running your
What it's
motor
Yeah,
in
you know
my
what I mean.
class. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I mean. So I get that part of it, and
Mhm.
I'm all about that part of it. But I mean,
Yeah.
to adapt a series rules for your track, I'm not into it. I just
Yeah, as I said, it's a preference when it comes to the direction you want your track to be in, what
right.
direction you want your track to go, and if you've got a core group of guys who are regulars at your track, and we've talked to that with John from River Valley, Brian and Kathy at Jug. I'm sure them guys are kind of like a lot of regulars. What sounds like two brothers is a lot of like regular guys and stuff like that. Yeah, you are going to model your tracks of kind of like what your regulars want.
And the other thing too is, man, like like I'm making my assumption off of my hearsay. You know what I mean? And I've never personally talked to anybody with that series. I would like to.
But we'll have them one. I'm working on.
I've never. I mean, I'm going off of what I'm hearing. Because and I think, and don't get me wrong, I think that series is great because you're giving racers a format to run in, right? And it's competitive. You know what I mean? I'm just saying, like, I have an issue with a series and a track adopting the rules of a series because, like, I'm not able. I run a different class, so like, if I was running a stock class and I go to, let's say, Jug, right, and their rules are different, and then if I want to run in the series class, I mean, I have to change everything up. And I get that part of it. You know what I mean? I get that, trying to uniform everybody together. But I think if it needs to be done, then it needs to be done through a committee.
Like a governing body.
Yeah. Like, does that make sense? Like,
no, it makes perfect sense.
I'm not bad mouthing. I'm not bad mouthing anything. I'm just telling you my opinion. And my opinion is off of what I hear So I mean, my opinion is, I mean, it's just my opinion.
Mhm.
I don't.
So you're taking, like, to say, you're a track owner, I'm a track owner, we have Greg on here as a track owner, we have John on here as a track owner, we have Blake as a track owner. We're starting a series, so us, everybody as like the track owners is in a nutshell. What you're saying is we're all collaborating together. We're
Right.
formulating a series, all as track owners. Like, hey, this is a standard for our stocks. This is our standard for clones. This is our standard for our purple plates. And
Yeah.
now we voted on it. And if it's not like a unanimous vote, then let's get to a unanimous vote. And then once those votes are casted, then now you've got a series built because everybody agreed on these. And instead of a kind of like, I wouldn't even call it a dictatorship, maybe format, but
See, and that, I think that's taking it way. That's
too far. Yeah,
That's
you get what I mean.
That's not even what I'm. That's not even.
No,
what
no,
I'm,
no, 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 no. I'm just speaking. I'm just speaking in terms.
No, hold on. So, like, okay, I'm just saying, like, I have Mr. Bear messaging me right now, so obviously he's watching, which is great, and he's informing me of some stuff that I did not know, which is
Okay.
great. So I'm saying, like, I'm not saying this is what he's doing. I'm saying
No,
from what
no,
I'm
no, no.
hearing, from what I'm hearing is not just from racers, but from some other people that are into this sport. Since we started this podcast, I get to hear a little bit more differently. I have people
Oh, yeah.
that I usually don't talk to that I've talked to, and I've asked a bunch of questions. And I'm not, by far am I not here to badmouth anybody.
Oh God, no.
Because I want the sport to grow, right? So I'm just saying, I don't think that's what they're doing. I just don't understand adopting certain things. You know what I mean? For tracks. I mean, I guess what I'm trying to say is I think every track is unique because they run it differently.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And it's like in a big car, right? So if you go to like Atomic, they have all these governor bodies that come up with the rules that they run. Like you have USAC midgets, they run they run their own rules. You know what I mean? When you have a race there, you're going to follow the USAC midget rules. And if you're, if you're at the gateway, you're going to follow their rules and you're going to follow their. That's what I'm saying. And if I heard it wrong, then I've heard it wrong and I will apologize. But I mean, it just comes down to the fact that I like it where I can say, this is my home track. This is where I want to go. And I would like to be involved in other things that this sport has because I think every opinion matters.
Exactly.
When it comes to racing in general. I don't care if you race a drag car. I don't care if you race a boat. I don't care if you race a RC car. I don't care.
Yeah, exactly.
Barbie Jeep. I don't give a
exactly,
crap.
exactly. Yeah,
you know what I mean? I just like I want to grow the sport, and
exactly.
I guess I'm asking questions, and and I'm making my determination off of what I hear, because we are new at this, right? And we're getting more and more involved every week that we get to do stuff. So like what I'm being told now is that the rules are coming up as every track has a say so, is the way I'm reading it. And if that's the case, man, that's great. That's great.
Yeah, because I'm reading a comment, a few comments here too, and that I've received, and it looks like rules and everything's voted on. That's awesome. That's great. So these are the things that it goes back to what you and I just said. That's the reason why we started this podcast, to eliminate the gray area, to eliminate the assumption of stuff. So now, if there is a question, that we are the mediators to these questions. You get to us, we'll ask the questions. If you got the answers, we'll pass along the message, because this is just another format of getting racers involved in the sport. That's our
Right.
plan, right?
Yes.
Absolutely. We all, down to the smallest kid, of out there racing. It's a
Yes.
passion, to the oldest to the smallest, the youngest.
Right. Yes. I mean, that's the thing. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, never in a million years would I ever think that I'd be sitting or hosting a podcast, right? And
No, 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 no.
talking about go-kart racing. And when I got into this, man, I really did not know how big it is. It's huge.
It's huge.
And
It is huge. It is huge.
and I'm going to say there's guys in this industry that I've heard of.
Mm-hmm.
I don't have a whole lot of dealing with, but
Mm-hmm.
they are doing things the right way because
Mm-hmm.
you're hearing about it, and
Mm-hmm.
then we are discussing it because we're hearing about it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So now
We're just making it public.
yeah, you know what I mean?
We're making it public.
And it's not that I'm bad mouthing anybody or anything like that. I'm just
No.
telling my piece of it.
Mm-hmm.
And like I just want the damn sport to grow.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I
Mm-hmm.
mean?
I don't
just
care
want
what
the
it is.
damn sport to grow. And
Mhm.
I mean I want it to be where every track is full
Mm-hmm.
on any given day.
Every
And have,
series full.
huh?
Every series full.
Dude, I don't give a crap if you have a series or if you have Joe Speedway in the back of
Mhm.
his damn backyard, and he is like, "Hey man, I'm an RC. I'll go out and buy a damn RC car and I'll run the damn thing." You know what I mean? I just want the sport to grow
Mhm.
because I have such a passion for racing,
I do too. Yeah.
and I just think it's great. It's a place this sport can give a young person so much.
Mhm.
I don't care what you race. You can, if you're a young person, you can learn so much in
Mhm.
racing. You
Mhm.
can learn damn near everything you need to in life.
Mhm. I bet I could use my daughter as an example. I mean,
You're 100% right.
let's look at my daughter. Let's be real. Let's be real about my daughter. I don't know if she's listening right now. She's probably sleeping right now. But this girl really struggled with the direction she wanted to go in life, and and then, as I said, I know I hate repeating myself when with a story coming up, but I mean, we got started in a benefit race like we just talked about, the LA race. What, blah, 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 tongue tied. But anyway, we went to a benefit race and we showed up with a yard cart, and that benefit was for wounded warriors who loved outdoor stuff. We showed up with a
Right.
yard cart. We got our butts whipped, butts whipped. We ended up buying a cart that was actually in that race, and we showed up at a track with a bolt tire and a wrench, and now I've grown it to 4 carts sitting in my garage now, expanding down into Savannah, Georgia. I mean, it's just
You know what?
everybody has that story.
Yes, everybody has that story. And you know what I liked? He brought up a good thing. It's all family oriented, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he wants to work with other tracks. That way, he is
Mm-hmm.
not taking away from another track
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and doing that. And dude, I am cold heartedly 100% for that because I mean, I think if you was a promoter, we dabbled in that a little bit last year with John at River Valley, and I don't want to take nothing away from any other track.
No, no.
You know what I mean? I wouldn't want to take away anybody else's stuff. So, I mean, that's what I think that needs to be worked on. If this track is having a big race, And this track, you just automatically put another race on that same day, and it's
Mm-hmm.
big.
Mm-hmm. Well, we just talked about everybody now has the opportunity to race Friday, Saturday,
Yeah.
and Sunday.
Yeah, that's
All
the
in
good
one
thing.
weekend. All in
Yeah.
one weekend.
So if you don't get enough
All in one
racing,
weekend.
if you don't get enough racing at one track, you can go to the next one the next day. And if you don't get enough racing there, you can go to the next one the next day.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Now I'm sure that the all three of those tracks are not going to run every weekend that way.
No, but
But
when the moons align, it's
it'd be
gonna
a
happen.
great it'd be a
It's gonna
great
happen.
racing weekend. You know what I mean?
It's
And
gonna be
I hope
amazing.
it works out that way, because there is nothing better than pulling up to a track and it's full, and you don't know what your competition is going to
Mm-hmm.
be. You know what I mean? That's what it's all about, right? I mean, we're grown.
Mm-hmm.
We said it 100 times on this podcast. We're men, and this brings out the little child in us, and we get to
Oh,
go
exactly.
race, and we get to go live our dreams. And we all think in our own heart that some of us are Dale Earnhardt and Jeff Gordon and Tony Stewart. And,
Sometimes I feel like I'm Dale Earnhardt, and I've been told, "Stop it."
right. So, it just brings out the kid in us,
Mm-hmm.
and it's all good. And but we built this to not badmouth anybody and
No.
not
We said
promote
that from
any
day one.
certain person or
Mm-hmm.
any certain track or any certain anything.
Mm-hmm.
I just want the sport to grow, and I just want to be a part of it. And
Mm-hmm.
that's what it's all about, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
And
I'm looking forward to next year.
mm-hmm.
Quite be honest with you, I haven't touched my stuff since the last race of the year. I kind of neglect it.
Mine's getting packed up.
Yeah. I mean, you're taking your stuff south. So
Mm-hmm. And then another thing I want to touch on too. I meant with this podcast and stuff is my biggest thing is I monitor the message boards, the text messages and stuff like that. At any time, Bear apologize for interrupting. No, you're not interrupting me whatsoever. When you
yeah.
send me messages and stuff like that, I encourage the fan interaction of this
Oh
podcast,
yeah.
because you're not interrupting us one bit
Nope.
when you're sending us message, because I will get it on the air. If you have questions or comments, or let's just say for a fact that you're kind of misinformed, we want that type of feedback, so then we can discuss it in an open forum like this. So and that just doesn't go with him, but it goes with anybody in our message board. Please fill my message board up. I want to the point
Yeah.
where I'm like, oh man, I've gone through it for days, just trying to filter through all the questions. I
Right.
want fan interaction with
Hell
this
yeah.
podcast. So yeah, don't ever feel like you have to apologize for interrupting us in this and stuff like that. You're not. That's the
Nah, not at
vision
all.
I kind of have.
I would rather have the record set straight
Then assume.
than assumed, or
Mhm.
something being misled. And
Exactly.
I mean that's
I got a little special guest right here. Where's
oh,
she
you
at?
do.
Where's she at? Where's she at? There she
Oh,
is.
there you are.
There she is. She's in her night clothes.
Yeah.
So, but it's dark because I was out, as I said, I was podcasting from our bedroom, and Amanda's not feeling very well, and she wanted to get into bed and stuff like that. So I moved out to the living room, what's a little darker and stuff like that. So I
Hey,
apologize for the darkness, but
no,
anyway,
you're fine, man. I mean, my laptop's dying too, so I mean,
yeah,
we might cut it a little short tonight.
that's
But
fine. That's fine. I felt like it was a great night, and once again,
yeah.
I will elaborate when we come back on next weekend and stuff like that. Don't feel I want fan interaction.
Yes, most
Please
definitely.
either message me on my Facebook page, Shane Maurer. Uh, you can Facebook message Phil. If you don't want it to be public, you can do it that way. If you wanted it to be public and you don't care, write live on our YouTube page. Message us, please do. We want the fan interaction. We really do.
Well, I got one right now. As
What you got?
you ask and they shall come in, right?
I want it.
Hot Chicken, which I know who that is. He asked if we have any special guests for next week. What's your plan, Shane? You're my producer.
Well, I've been working on a few of them. Okay, so one of them is I've sent out a few messages to a couple of other track owners, and this was before the breaking news. So, which I've kind of got them kind of lined up, the other track owners, but with the breaking news that two brothers had, I'm working hard now on getting that indoor race on the 11th down there. I sent a message to them to see if they can get on tonight once I found out. So if I can get them on, I might push them ahead. So then they can talk about what they're doing. So we can promote that winter race and stuff like that. But if they're not ready to, then I've got a few other guests lined up. So
surprise. It's going to be a surprise.
Yeah, I always like to try to keep it somewhat of a surprise and stuff like that. But how I plan on of our guest series and stuff like that is which we talked about a little bit ago. I like to hit a lot of the track owners that are local. So then whoever's listening, they know what tracks are available. They can try these tracks out. I also want to hit on drivers who kart racers like we did last week with Trevor and John Gardner. I want those a few times, so don't be surprised if I reach out to a few of our listeners. And if you would like to be on our show as a driver, inbox me on Shane Mauer's site or on Flat Kart Mafia. If you're following them, please subscribe and follow us. We have grown at a pretty decent rate, a growth that I'm actually really pleased with. It's not dramatic, but it's a good pace. Each week we gain about 5 to 10 subscribers each week, which is awesome. I love that rate. We're looking to grow. Matter of fact, today just alone we gained three subscribers. I'll take out 3 is amazing. And here's a bonus. We talked about this last week. I'm going to hold to my word. We hit 1,000 subscribers on our Flat Kart Mafia YouTube page. I'll do a little dance for you guys.
There you go.
Hit that 1,000 mark. Hit that 1,000 mark, because this is how passionate I am about this sport. I love it. I love it. So, but yeah, those are some of the numbers we've been hitting. We've been growing at a good rate. It's not massive, but it's not tiny at all. It's on average of what we expected. We expected. So that's my plan moving forward. Is I want drivers, I want track owners. We'll dabble into a little bit. I've got a guest coming up later on in January, who races. Now he started out in karts, but he's moved up to racing modified big cars. I've got a guy lined up who races RC cars, dirt track, in the future. So this is getting to be to where, I've got a good guest lineup.
Great. Well, I'm going to shut it down for the night.
Okay.
And everybody, Wednesday is the Ho Ho Man and Christmas.
Oh, Merry Christmas, everybody!
I wish everybody out there a Merry Christmas and a Happy Holidays. And man, next year, man, grab a buddy, grab a friend, whatever. Mm-hmm. Take them to a racetrack.
Mm-hmm.
I don't care if you're watching. Just go out there and support them. Mm-hmm. Support the racers. We go out there, we do it for ourselves, but we also do it for you guys. We try to put on a hell of a show for you guys. Mm-hmm. And enjoy coming, and just don't let the sport die.
No.
That's what
that's what
we're here to. It's what we want, man. We want to grow it, and everybody, again, happy Merry Christmas, and happy holidays. And
Mhm.
Shane, I'm pretty sure you'll call me after this.
Hey, buddy. Always do it every night.
So, again, everybody, thank you so much. I appreciate you guys following us. You got two old geezers up here talking about racing, and we don't know it all. We're not a master of none of it. We just have passion for the sport. We want to get news out there and make it big and grow. And thank you for all of our wives for supporting us and our families. And I do appreciate everything that everybody does. And again, thank you so much, Shane. I'll talk to you here in a little bit. I'm going to end it.
All right.
Everybody have a good night.
Merry Christmas, everybody.
Merry Christmas, everybody. Talk to you later.
Only thing that's on my mind is who's gonna run this town tonight.
Yeah, I say that we are. This is Rock Nation. Pledge your allegiance.
Only thing that's on my mind is who's gonna run this town tonight.
Yeah, I say that we are. This is Rock Nation. Pledge your allegiance.